You talked to Freak about AP items? Yeah, the other night, I was reacting to the changes of the new items, right? So I was overviewing the Spider X changes the other night, and as soon as I did that, Freak decided to pop into my channel and chat. So these were the changes, right? These were the main changes. And I was really pissed off about Horizon being changed. I understand Linery's nerf because it's obviously necessary. I think the Rod nerf was wrong. This was unnecessary, I think. I talked about it. So all of these I kind of criticized a bit, and essentially what it boiled down to, he tried to explain to me the design philosophy, and he said that they didn't really like Horizon Vel'Koz because it was a broken item, which I agree. I think it's really good. I think Horizon is a ridiculously good item. It's underrated as hell, but people don't buy it. They don't buy it very often. So it was a niche item. It was a very niche item. And I think their design philosophy is to move away from niche items, which I think is problematic in and of itself, but we'll talk about it. So he said that they want it to be picked up by more than just artillery mages, making it accessible for everyone, which I think is a mistake, because then you get to the point where no item has any sort of identity. You don't have Twin Shadows, you don't have cool Horizon play, you don't have these cool items, you have nothing but these like weird blobules of giving you ability haste, HP, mana, like AP. It's like everything gives you a bit of everything, and it's all just different flavors. Like you're basically picking like a different bubblegum, but they're all same underneath and have like a different color. That's it. So I don't like that. Like you obviously don't want items to be too niche, too specific within what they do. Sometimes that's fine. Some items should do that, I think. Otherwise, you lose all sort of creativity. Because you should have baseline items which are essentially flavors, which is basically what Lost Chapter items are. They're different flavors of one item. But then again, items like Horizon should exist. So you can have these very specific builds. Very specific ideas that you want to execute within your gameplay. So I disagree with their design philosophy on that. And so yeah, I talked about this, and I talked about Rod nerf not being good enough because Rod nerf, what they're doing is they're nerfing Rod, not the catalyst, which makes it broken. So everyone's still gonna be buying Rod 2 patches after. So this patch and the next patch, everyone will still be buying Rod because the nerf is not enough, and the other items are not appealing, especially when you're doing this stupid stuff to like Blackfire Torch, right? So I kid you not, tomorrow, literally tomorrow, after I chat about that, they do these changes. This gets reverted back. This gets fixed a little bit. So I don't know if I had an influence on Freak. I hope I did with my conversation, because now they're making all of these Lost Chapter flavors a bit more enticing to move away from the Rod, because as I mentioned, there's no trade-off between building Rod and Lost Chapter items. Rod is almost always better. Because if I build Malignance, I'm going to get 3% more damage, and I'm going to have to play 20 times better, right? It's just not worth it. I would rather like have another chance. I would rather be able to fuck up and then rebound. And now this is like the kicker when you think about this. Like, what does it tell you? What does it tell you when, we can use this liberally without even like any sort of debate, but like, what does it tell you when the best player of an individual champion in the world in Challenger Elo resorts to building safer, tankier build paths? Okay, you would imagine within the decade of me playing VelKoz, by being the only challenger VelKoz in the world right now on 2 servers, and there's 0 challengers, you would imagine that if there's a valuable trade-off, you would see at least me building more aggressive variant, because I would be kind of good at reading enemy movement and patterns and be confident in my skill shots and be good at positioning. So like, if it's a word for me to build Rod compared to any sort of aggressive combination of items, that tells you that there's no trade-off between items. It's a broken system. So I mentioned that, and now we're getting a bit more trade-off. All these items are getting a bit more enticing. So I'm happy about it. That's a good change. That is a good change. I hope I had something to do with that, Freak. And yeah, that same exact design philosophy that I talked about, I think is the leading cause of doing this, which is void staffication of the Cripploom. Cripploom is too unique, it's too niche, so they're making it closer to Void Staff. And I don't like that. I don't like that all the items are being jumbled up together. Like, the cool mechanic of Cripploom was the heal. And then they removed the heal essentially in its entirety. Like, 75 heal and 10%, okay? So on 1000 AP, you're gonna do 175 heal. 175 heal on 1000 AP, by the way. Like, it's like, buy a potion. Buy a fucking potion in it. Like, go white staff, buy a potion in a team fight. Fuck you. You know, it's like, it lost its uniqueness, right? It lost the uniqueness of the item, and I'm worried that that's what they're doing with all the items. This item also got killed. This was like one of the most unique items when they designed it. Like, patch by patch, they stripped away every portion of it that was unique, and they killed it. I understand why. I don't want they don't want the items to do too much damage, but it's their fault for making it too accessible. I think they could have designed it a bit more specifically targeted, so it's a bit more difficult to utilize. They made it like, oh, you get hit by Zoe Q, it procs it instantly. It should have been better. It should have been like, it should have worked on some certain thresholds where it's not that easy to proc it. But yeah, that's I guess that's what I have to say about the items. And I generally don't like this design philosophy of making all the items too similar. I like that they are similar items for the flavoring of your core item, but then you should have specific items in order for your build path. So yeah, even still, I'm not sure if this is gonna overtake Rud. I'm not sure adding 100 gold value to this, 100 gold value to this, whatever the fuck this value is, which is nothing. This gets a bit nerfed because it's the best item out of all, but they kept the 20 at least, so it has some semblance of burn. These numbers are important, by the way. They're not important in a way that you might think. This item is not very important. The burn is not very important for the sake of poking enemies, because when you hit enemy, they will regen more than the Blackfire burns. But this 3 burn per second would have mattered a lot on minions. So this would have been a pretty devastating blow to items. So I would prefer to pay extra 50 to keep the burn, because the whole reason, the uniqueness of the Blackfire is the fact that you can manipulate and control the waves a lot easier. You can wave clear very cleanly based off of the burn. Especially somebody who's like multiple ability procs like VelKoz W. You do W, then it procs again, so you do, instead of 3 seconds, you do 4 seconds of burn, right? So you get a little bit of extra value there. So in those 4 seconds, you'd be losing like 12 damage with this, right? You would be losing 12 damage on that, on just 1 W on the minion wave, which is, it can like be a problem with certain thresholds. So I'm glad they kept the burn at least. But yeah, I like, it's just the never-ending cycle. They come up, they get the items too jumbled up to they're all similar. They made a dev blog about this very phenomenon, which we read, I think, a couple of years ago, and they said all the items are too similar. Mages are buying HP, AP, ability haste, mana, everything in one item always. So you're basically getting nothing. It's just boringness. Every mage was too tanky, and then they couldn't figure out the assassins because all the mages were too tanky. And guess what? They're doing the same exact thing here. They're losing the uniqueness of the items, the glass canoniness of the items. They're forcing everybody to build Rud, and all of these items are getting jumbled together into one thing again, unfortunately. So how long again until this hits a breaking point, so they decide to do another radical ambitious improvement of the items? Because when they first released this item, they went away from that design principle and they made a radical change in a bunch of different items, and it was very fun for a couple of patches. Obviously unbalanced, but it's what made people have a lot of fun with it. Sure, you can make the game the most balanced thing for the game ever you could do is to make every item equal. That is the most balanced thing you can do, because every item is equal. But then there's just no flavor. There's nothing interesting. And I'm worried that's the design that they're going towards. I hope they move away from it a little bit and they make some more unique stuff. Bring back Twin Shadows, please! Like, how much money do I have to pay to somebody in Riot to bring back Twin Shadows? God, I need that item. I need a utility item. Twin Shadows, please. You killed them. Now you're killing my horizon. Please bring back Twin Shadows. I swear. I'll do anything. Give me back my Twin Shadows. That's all I ask. Mage items are dead. We're building tank, boys.